Hi, welcome back to my English class. I am excited to discuss countable and uncountable nouns today. You're probably wondering, what exactly is a countable noun? What is an uncountable noun, and when will I use this? So today, that's what we will discuss. So go ahead, please get your pencils and paper, and let's get started with our lesson. A countable noun, it's basically just something we can count. You can think about if you're going around your house. I like to talk about food because it's easy to understand. Maybe you're in your kitchen and your husband says, "Hey, do we have any apples?" Now think about it. Can you count apples? You would say, "Yeah, we have 2 apples." That would be countable. Now, if your husband says, "Do we have any oatmeal?" You can't say we have 3 oatmeal, can you? Because countable nouns is something you can count physically. 1 tree, 2 trees, 3 trees. And so you're going to use things like is and are. If your noun is a singular noun, that means just one, you would use is. For example, the book is old. If your noun is plural, that means more than one, you would use are. The books are old. Now let's look into uncountable nouns. An uncountable noun is something you cannot count. Now, anytime you see the word un, it just means the opposite. It means not or non. So it's something we cannot count. An uncountable noun, it only has one form, and that's the singular. It does not have any plurals. And so when you use the uncountable noun, you're going to use the word is. So you would talk about sugar. You would say sugar is sweet because sugar is an uncountable noun. And you're going to use is because it is singular. Uncountable nouns mean we can't say words like or an, 1, 2, or 3. Uncountable nouns do not have a number in front of them. It's always going to be singular, always going to be 1. You won't say the number 1, but you just know that there's no plural form. There won't be an S after it. You don't say oatmeals, you say oatmeal. You don't say fishes, you say fish. And so those are things that are uncountable. So let's get some practice. You can see here these pictures, and I would like you to tell me if what I put the laser on, if it is countable or uncountable, and then I want you to practice yourself and pause the video to practice. So what do we have here? Yes, we have children. Now, are children countable or uncountable? Yes, countable, because we can physically count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 children. Again, there are 4 children. Now let's skip over here. Here we have happiness. Can you say there are 2 happiness? No, that would be uncountable. We can't count happiness. It just is or it isn't. Now what about money? Now, if you look closely, we have dollar bills. We could say there are 3 $1 bills, and that would be countable. But when we have here different denominations of money, you can see quarters, a $5 bill, and 3 $1 bills. Now, bill or bills is countable, but money as a whole is not countable. So you would say, I have money, or there is money. That's all you would say there. Okay, and I'm going to let you pause the video now and just take a moment to, you can write down or figure these out on your own if they are countable or uncountable. Okay, so now we are talking about some quantifiers that you would use when you are using countable and uncountable nouns. You may ask, what's a quantifier? Right? A quantifier, that's just a phrase or a word that you're going to use, and it indicates the quantity of something. You can see here, quanta. Well, that's just like quantity, okay? So that's a quantity, the number of something. So we have with countable nouns, you could say a majority of apples are red. A number of people are white. Several ducks have beaks. Many children are playing. You get the idea here. So this is just showing you these words that you can put in front of a noun to indicate the quantity. So if you use these quantifiers, you wouldn't add a number with it. You wouldn't say a large number of 7. No, you would just use this to tell how many you have of something. Now, with countable nouns, we have words such as much, a bit, a great deal of. So back to the question about oatmeal. If your husband says, honey, do we have any oatmeal? You can say, oh, we have a bit, a little bit, or we have a great deal of oatmeal. You don't have to buy any this time. So these are words that you would put in front of an uncountable noun. And then here we have words that you can put in front of countable or uncountable. Enough, all. Like, I don't have enough pizza for dinner. I don't have any sugar to go with my tea. I have plenty of rice for our meal. Or I have lots of bananas. So any of these words can be used with countable or uncountable. How about you pause the video and take some time to write some sentences using these quantifiers. Now here you can see another, the same list, and it's just showing you here the way that you would use these words in a sentence. And I'll just take 2 of them, and you can pause the video and read the rest if you would like. Most. With the countable sentence, you could say, she keeps most of her books in the shelf. Non-countable. We spent the most time on the project. How about a lot of? Countable. She has a lot of dogs. Non-countable. There's a lot of traffic today. So you can see this gives you a wonderful example of using these quantifiers with the nouns that are countable or uncountable and how to use those. Now it's time for an exercise. So I want you to pause the video here and try and answer these questions. So number 1, there are a lot of people here. 2, there were not any bikes in the shop. 3, plenty of people come hiking here. 4. Some cats are in the garden. And 5. Lots of birds drink from our bird bath. Did you get those right? Okay, on this page you can do the same thing. So once again, we're going to practice with using a little, a few, much, many, some, any. A little, much, those are used with uncountable nouns. A few and many are used with countable nouns. Some is used for positive sentences, whether it's countable or uncountable. And any is used for questions or negative sentences using countable or uncountable. And you can sit here and take a moment to pause the video and try and answer those questions there, those sentences, and choose the correct option. Here we have another opportunity for you to pause the video and choose the correct option. 1. A slice of pizza. 2. A cup of tea. 3. A piece of cake. Oh, that sounds delicious, doesn't it? 4. A can of Coke. 5. A bag of crisps or chips. 6. A bottle of milk. 7. A bar of chocolate, because a plate of chocolate would be way too much. 8. A bunch of grapes. 9. A jar of honey. 10. A glass of lemonade. Now with slice, you would say a slice of lemon. 11. A box of cereal. 12. A bowl of rice. 13. A bottle of juice. 14. A bowl of soup. And 15. A bunch of flowers. Did you get those correct? Here we have other options, and you are going to practice using a or an if it's necessary, and then tell the name of what the items are. So you can take a moment to answer those questions by pausing the video. You can pause the video on this. This time you are practicing using a, an, or some. On this one, you were talking about how much or how many. You can use many with countables and much with uncountables. Again, please pause the video and practice this. And here you are using countable and uncountable. On this side, you would write C if it's countable, U if it's uncountable. And here you're going to practice a conversation and fill in the gaps with a, an, some, any, is, are, much, or many. And here you can pause the video and practice some writing. You're going to determine if the word is countable or uncountable, and then write a sentence using the quantifiers that you learned in this lesson. And last, I want you to discuss some questions with someone. And you will be practicing using these quantifiers and using countable and uncountable nouns. That's the end of our video, or end of our lesson. If you have any questions, please feel free to write in the comments. Thank you so much, and I hope that you have an excellent day. Bye.